Hello and welcome to today's Postural Correction class focusing on addressing rib flare, which means we are trying to draw the rib cage back together and cinch in the waist and the ribs so as to protect our core and really help us prevent lower back pain and close any abdominal separation that may have happened to you if you are a new mom and have had a baby recently. All right, so for props, you're going to need your yoga mat. You're also going to need a nice big Pilates ball and then a foam roller or a yoga mat, an additional yoga mat that's been rolled up, and then some light weights. Now the weights are optional, but if you do go ahead and use them, make sure they're really light. I'm talking 1.5 kilos or less, which is about 3 pounds or less. So very, very, very light weights, which are optional. All right, so with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so we're starting down on the ground, and make sure that you've got your weights nearby so that they're easily accessible, and that you've got your foam roller with you. You're going to come down to your back, rolling through your side, and we're just going to set up with the foam roller lengthways along your spine. Now you just have to kind of play around with exactly where this foam roller goes, but I'd say that you want to be able to drop your hips all the way down and have the foam roller supporting your head. So if you've got one of these shorter ones, you definitely don't want your head hanging off over the edge. Rather have your hips hanging over the edge. All right, and from here, you've just got your feet planted into the ground, and you can see I'm in a really arched position with my rib cage flared open. So we're going to practice lifting the hips up to be parallel to the ribs. And as we do that, I really want you to engage the ribs and think about closing them, knitting them back together like a corset, pulling tight around your spine. Exhale. Inhale, let it all out. Drop those hips and exhale. Engage. So we're really focusing on the hamstrings and the glutes here, obviously lifting you up into sort of half a glute bridge, but more importantly, we're focusing on the rib cage. Closing that rib flare. Exhale, close it. Squeeze pelvic floor, closing the ribs. Good. Inhale, relax down. And exhale up. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So obviously balancing on the foam roller is an additional challenge that you need to be able to master. And that's all part of building up strength in the stabilizer muscles. Let's go ahead, and if you feel good about this, lift the arms overhead. Good. So they're above your face and you're maintaining everything. Now what I want you to do is, as you inhale, you're going to reach the arms overhead as you drop the hips down, letting it all hang out. And exhale, back to the first position. Close those ribs nice and tight. Zip that inner corset. Inhale, release. Exhale. So this is really giving you a taste of what it feels like to allow your ribs to flare and your core to just flop out, and then the opposite of that, really engaging everything and locking in that feeling, that sensation of that inner corset, closing the ribs, zipping up the lower abdominals, squeezing pelvic floor. Inhale, open up, exhale. Good. 2 more here. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, carefully bring the arms down. You can release the hips. Just get your weights. 1 weight in each hand. Now, if your weights are pretty heavy, you didn't manage to get lighter weights, then you just want to go slow here and just feel, maybe use just 1 hand and 1 weight at a time. We don't want you kind of rolling off over your foam roller. So again, we're going to inhale, exhale, lift up the hips, close the ribs, lifting up. So you've got your weights overhead. Inhale. I want you to exhale. You're going to switch arms. 1 hand goes up, 1 down. Inhale, back to place. Exhale. So notice here, I'm not allowing my ribs to flare, and I'm not dropping my hips. I'm keeping everything really, really tight. And this is difficult because when your arms are overhead, especially if you have tight shoulders, in order to get a greater range of motion, we tend to flare the ribs. So I'm wanting you to hold on to those ribs. And even if it means you can only get your arms so far overhead instead of all the way, It's absolutely fine. We don't want to sacrifice form for depth. And over time, you'll build up the strength and flexibility in the shoulders, but I really want you to focus on keeping the rib cage closed. So glutes are engaged, hamstrings are engaged, all the little stabilizer muscles are working really hard to keep you balanced. One more each side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Good, same thing. Now we're going to exhale. We're going to open the arms out to the side. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Keep control of those ribs. Shoulders are down. Core is zipped up and engaged. Just keep thinking of that corset. As you exhale, pull those strings tighter. Close the ribs. Squeeze the pelvic floor. Zip up lower abdominals. Inhale. 3 more. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Good. You can drop those weights down by your side wherever they're out of the way. And now we're going to just up the ante slightly. So I want you to lift your right leg up and feel for balancing. All right. So you might find this quite wobbly initially. Just get your balance. Once you feel like you've got it, and if you don't feel safe throughout this, you'll just move the leg and you won't incorporate the arm. But if you feel like you've got it, you're going to lift your opposite arm up overhead. Good. And now we're going to toe tap and bring the arm overhead. Inhale, exhale. So I'm holding onto my core, holding onto my ribs. Balancing it there. Good. And breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep going. 4 more. So that opposite glute, hamstring working really hard on the supporting leg to stabilize you. Keep lifting up in the hips. Don't let them drop low. They're going to keep wanting to sink down to the ground. Don't let it happen. Last one here. Good. And then we're just going to change sides. So first lifting the left leg up and just finding your balance. I really want you to ground your left hand into the floor strong. Paste it there, glue it there, and that's going to stay like that for the whole exercise. If you feel ready, you're lifting the right arm up to above your face. Inhale, exhale, toe tap. Inhale, back up. Exhale, keep lifting those hips, don't let them drop. Closing the ribs. Squeeze that pelvic floor. So it's a very controlled movement. It's definitely not free and easy and light. You're holding onto everything really tight, making sure that those ribs do not flare open. Inhale down, exhale up. 3 more. You got this. 2. Last one. Really good. Well done. All right. So we're going to come off the foam roller. The best way is to drop the hips and just roll sideways and then push yourself up. All right. So we're done with the foam roller for now. We're going to move on to the big Pilates ball. And the best thing to do is, if you find that it's rolling around all over the place, you can actually push it against a bed, a couch, a wall to kind of wedge it in place. If you want more of a challenge, then don't do that and just see how it goes. All right, so we're starting with our legs straight, both legs on the ball. And I like to have my legs separated and really push down into the ball. Hands, palms flat into the floor, pressing into the mat. Inhale, exhale, lift the glutes up and just feel that position. So you're really engaging the glutes, squeeze pelvic floor, zip up the lower abdominals, close the ribs. So it's very comfortable to kind of flay the ribs open here. We don't want that. Close those ribs. All right, think about the ribs hugging tight around the spine. Now see how this feels. And what I want you to do is you're going to bring one arm up and then bring it back down. Other arm up and down. Good. So really working hard on the core to stabilize you, keeping those ribs closed and engaged. Good. So you should be feeling it in the glutes and the hamstrings, maybe even in the quads. Just keep bringing your attention back to those ribs. Keep them closed. Good. Let's do one more each side. Nice. And hold it there, coming down. Now we're going to move our arms out to the side like airplane wings. And again, press those hands, palms into the mat. If you need a break, you're welcome to come down, shake it out, and when you're ready, lifting back up to join us. We're going to lift the arm overhead now and back down to the side. So very similar, a little more challenging with our arms wide. It's always easier to balance when your body is hugged up tight against each other. The minute you have limbs, apart from core, you are required to really effort more. So I'm definitely feeling this burning in my hamstrings and my hips, my glutes, but I'm just focusing on those ribs. Close them tight. Good. Let's do one more each side. So right arm comes up and down, and left arm and down. Good. Take a moment, unwind, maybe bend the legs, shake it out, rock it out. We're going to up the ante just ever so slightly now. So what I want you to do is have your left leg straight. You're going to bend your right leg and do like a figure 4 shape. So this is where you might need to wedge this ball against a bed or another wall or something like that. We're going to be doing the same thing with the arms going forward and back and then side to side. But now one leg. All right. So what really helps is pressing the hand that is not in the air firmly into the mat and also trying to drop this knee down into the ground. That's going to force you to activate your glutes and your legs more. They're strong, powerful muscles. They're going to give you that added support. So hands, palms into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, rolling up. And just feel it there. Maybe you feel like you can't even do anything in this position, which is fine. You'll just hold it there. Otherwise, I'm pressing my right hand into the mat. I'm lifting my left hand up. We're just doing it slowly, one at a time. Now we're going to change. The side's going to be a bit trickier. I'm also feeling about pressing the backs of my shoulders into the mat. That's really going to help stabilize me. Again, really closing the rib cage nice and tight. Close it, close it, close it. Good. Just a couple on each side. You can feel such a simple exercise is still really, really challenging. Good. Let's open the arms out to the side. We're staying in this position. Good. And let's start lifting one arm up. Really pressing my shoulder and hand palm into the floor on the other side that's not working. Trying to drop that knee down to the ground. That's going to help me. Remember, if this is too difficult, just do another set of the first exercise with both legs on the ball and work up to this. Good. One more each side, and then we're going to change legs. And last one. Good. Slowly come down. Just take a moment, shake out those legs. And now you're going to extend your right leg along the mat, bending the left leg into a figure 4 shape, crossing at the knee. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, rolling up, pushing that other knee down, closing those ribs. Squeeze pelvic floor, lifting up one arm and down. Other arm. Feel your shoulder, the back of your shoulder pressing into the ground. That's going to help stabilize you. Keep dropping that knee down. Close those ribs. Squeeze pelvic floor. Just keep saying the same instructions to yourself over and over and over again. Because our bodies are trying to find comfort. They will keep trying to let go wherever the effort is so it can be easier. But we don't want that. We want to close those ribs. We want to heal our core. Last one. Good. Let's take the arms out to the side like airplane wings. Find your balance. Take a moment. And when you're ready, lifting up. Good. And change. Close those ribs. Zip up lower abdominals. Squeeze pelvic floor. Press the backs of the shoulders into the mat. Press the hand that's not lifted into the mat. Push down into the ball. Use those legs. They're strong and powerful. Let's do one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Keep those ribs closed. Inhale. Exhale. Good, and slowly coming down, and just roll the ball in for a moment. Maybe you want to hug your knees into your chest. That sure feels good. You can rock it backwards and forwards. I know those hamstrings definitely worked hard in that one. So it's always great when you can do something that you think is going to be core focused and turns out to be full body workout. Great. All right, so to come up, you're just going to roll out sideways and push yourself up to sitting. All right, so there you have it. That was your postural correction workout, specifically addressing rib flare. All right, so I hope that you've enjoyed that one. Short and sweet. If you liked it, give this video a thumbs up and let me know if you would like more videos just like this. I will see you in our next workout.